Hello everybody, this is Purge, bringing you first person replay commentary. It is Abaddon. You guys might be confused because you probably looked in your sub boxes and you're like, I see two Abaddon videos and they have different titles and thumbnails. Well, the reason for that is yesterday when I streamed, I played a Abaddon game on stream and it was a great time. And I was on Skype with a bunch of friends, as you guys can see. So I was in a big Skype group. So I didn't really give commentary because usually when I'm on Skype, I don't want to like give full commentary. So I figured, what better way to do this than I'll take the video that I made, I'll post that in case you guys want Skype perspective. I'll link it here or somewhere on the screen. I don't know. We'll see what I do later. But if you guys want to watch the video with commentary, as in like live game commentary with very few comments about Abaddon as a hero, then you can watch the other video. If you want a lot of information about Abaddon as a hero, how to play him, decision making that I did, then I will talk about that here. You can watch both too if you want. If you guys want to learn about him first, you can watch here, and then you can go and watch the gameplay, which is a little bit more for fun. But it's kind of up to you. I probably should have just hopped off Skype for a game and commentated it live instead of just playing him. But I was with a bunch of people that I like playing with, so I went for the have a great time with whatever I felt like. So, Abaddon is a brand new hero into Dota 2. He came out, I believe, last Friday. I was unfortunately already driving to Las Vegas for EVO that weekend when he came out, so I didn't even get a chance to play him until yesterday. Sorry that was so delayed, of course. I would prefer to get them out earlier, but didn't get a chance since I was gone. So, a little bit about Abaddon. There's a lot of different ways you can play this hero. You can play him. I've been talking to a couple friends about it. Aosin says that you can probably play the hero anywhere between a 1 and a 5, but more accurately towards between a 2 and a 5. And by that I mean the roles. 1 position is your hard carry, 2 position is your mid, 3 position is your offlane, 4 and 5 are your supports, your farming supports and your hard supports. I personally kind of like playing him as a 4 myself, which means a farming support, but you can play him other ways. I've played against an Abaddon already who played him as a hard carry, as a 1 position, and he did really well. I think you can play him as a mid pretty okay as well. His base damage is really high, as you guys can see. I'm at 62 here, which means that my base damage is really good for only 2 branches. You could definitely contest mid. And also you have some AoE and some nuking potential that could leverage a bottle. So I think he could be a mid hero. But I'm playing him as a 4 here. So let's talk about his abilities a bit. Abaddon is probably, out of all the heroes that are left that aren't in Dota 2 yet, he's the one that I was most excited for, so I'm just like really pumped to finally have him in. But a couple things about him. He's one of the few heroes that is actually very, very support in nature. Oh, I forgot about that. We were fighting him for the invisibility rune, and I blocked him. His treant was hiding on top of it, so he couldn't click on it, because he was only clicking on his treant, so as soon as he moved off, he went to attack it, and I was able to right-click it. So Abaddon is a true support hero, which means that I exist to cover my allies, basically. We're obviously going to try to kill this Purge here. We're able to block him in, which is pretty fun. I forgot about Chachi coming. Tried to last hit that, but I didn't get it. I'm sorry. My brain just went to a completely different place for 15 seconds as I watched this. I was just like, oh wow, this gank is happening. I honestly completely forgot that I was giving a commentary. Anyways, God. Wow, my brain has not checked out that bad in a long time. Okay, I knew that was going to happen because I played this game yesterday, which is why I just stopped talking, because I knew what was going to happen, and then I just focused on it. Okay. True support hero, basically, which means that all of your abilities, not all of them, but most of them are based around buffing and supporting your allies. The first skill that he has is Mist Coil. If you guys played Warcraft 3, and I mean Warcraft 3, the game, not Warcraft 3 Dota, this was the Death Coil ability. It basically does a nuke to your allies, or yourself, I'm sorry, your allies or an opponent. If it's your opponent, they take damage. If it's an ally, it heals them. It does actually cost him HP, which means that if I cast Mist Coil on somebody, they changed the name, used to be Death Coil. If I cast Mist Coil on somebody, it heals my allies for 250 or damages my opponents for 250, and it always does a certain amount of damage, which ends up being half of the amount of nuke damage that it does. It's a very low cooldown at 5 seconds, and it also doesn't cost very much mana, only at 75. So all around, this is a pretty good skill. The second skill, which is a really, really awesome ability as well, is called Aphotic Shield. As you guys can see, it blows up. It basically absorbs damage, and if that damage threshold is broken during somewhere between the duration, then the damage will be released. So at level 1, this does 110 damage that can explode, and it's pretty cool. You can put it on allies, you can put it on allied creeps, and I think that's about it. So allied heroes or allied creeps is the only thing you can do with it. Another cool thing that this does, it actually removes certain types of negative buffs and stuns on cast. That means if your opponent gets stunned for a long duration, you can cast this on your ally, which will remove the stun, and then they'll be unstunned. So if your ally gets 5-second arrow or something, bam, cast a Aphotic Shield on him, the stun will be removed. And I'm sure you'll see that a couple times this game, as I do remove a lot of debuffs, I seem to remember. So keep in mind that one cool interaction that you have between these two skills, that Mistcoil does damage to yourself, Aphotic Shield explodes upon taking damage. So if you take a little bit of damage from Aphotic Shield and you can use the Mistcoil to trigger the explosion, then you can trigger the shield to explode while you do nuke damage to some other guy, and end up doing, basically trigger both of your nukes to do a bunch of damage. So it's a pretty cool interaction that can be used in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of other things you can do, like if you're low HP and you want to heal your ally, you can shield yourself first and then cast Mistcoil so that you prevent the damage from being done yourself. I casted this on him because I was hoping that he would attack me at all here. If Chachi would have frostbit, I would have been taking creep damage, and there's a chance that my shield would have exploded on Windrunner and done a decent amount of damage. So he should have frostbited there, but it was whatever. Now Abaddon isn't a very good support hero for harassing the offlane because I'm melee. I can stop the damage output and I can obviously do a nuke, but I don't have a single target disable. So dealing with him is a little difficult. We're just going to do the jungling together here. He's going to frostbite the large creep, and I can shield myself to block a lot of the damage, and I can take the small one. So it's kind of a nice way to accelerate some of our gold gain while we're waiting. It did end up doing quite a bit of damage to me, but it'll be okay. Looks like Blitz barely died to the Pudge here. My third skill is called the Curse of Avernus. This used to be called Frostmourne, but that's a Blizzard copyright word, so apparently Avernus is not. What this does is it gives me a passive, which I will apply by attacking an enemy or a creep or Roshan or whatever. What it does is debuffs for 2.5 seconds. It applies a slow. I think it's a movement speed slow. Or we're going to go fight Pudge over here. So it's like, let's fight Pudge, let's fight Pudge. I knew he was going to be able to see me. If we got a frostbite there, we would have killed him, definitely. But Chachi got a little too scared. I wanted him to hook me, actually, which is why I shielded myself first. Because I blocked about 110 of the hook damage, which if we look at Pudge, that was like a pretty good amount.
Radiant's middle tower
So a slight mistake from Chachi again there. We should have gotten that kill. So the Curse of Avernus, you apply it to an opponent that you're attacking. It applies the slow on them, and it gives me a movement speed bonus of 15%, and also an attack speed bonus for 4.5 seconds is what it does. So it's a pretty... Alright, generally what happens is lower skilled players will play Abaddon, and when they play carry Abaddon, they'll max this early with the shield, and it ends up giving them a lot of chase, but it doesn't really give you a lot of kill potential. So if you're playing a support Abaddon, I 100% do not recommend skilling this. I think it's absolutely not worth it.
Slam it! Earth take you.
Fortunately, he was run there, so he was gonna end up surviving that.
Down I go.
But he did get a kill on the Pudge at least. So yeah, don't grab the Curse of Avernus until very late, like level 9 probably. Actually, level 10, because you do 4/4 with your ulti at 1. So that's... Oh, it's level 9, sorry. Level 9, I'll pick it up, and I will max it out by 16 if I get to level 16. But I really just don't recommend picking up the skill in the early game. It can be useful, like hypothetically, I could cast this on like Windrunner and I could chase her down as she's scared in the offlane, but you're better off just maxing out your buff skills when you're playing support, because those are going to be the most important thing that you can do. This assisted jungling thing is really not that bad. I was pretty happy with how this went in the lane. So we pick up some more EXP and stuff. The way his ulti works is it is a really cool interaction. It's called Borrowed Time. When this is activated, negative buffs will be removed, and any damage that I take for that duration will heal me instead. That's how that works. It's automatically activated if my HP is below 400, which means you have to actually be careful when you get below 400 HP. I messed up a bunch of times this game, letting it auto-activate.
Dire's middle tower is
but
under
essentially
attack.
Against bad players, they will pretty much get you down to like a small amount of HP. It'll activate, they'll continue hitting you because they're bad, and then you'll get a full HP out of it. Against good players, you can't really bet on that as much. You can't assume that they're going to give you a lot of HP, but a couple other tricks you can do is when this is activated, you can cast Mistcoil, because if you cast Mistcoil, it does damage to yourself, which technically heals you. So that's one thing that you can do to get a little extra HP kick out of your ultimate, but it all around makes your hero mostly focused around low cooldown and moderate impact support item, or support spells basically, which makes it pretty fun, I think. Force the TP out of Axe here. So basically, you don't have to rely as much on survivability items because you have your ulti and you have your shield. You mostly just have to like make sure that you have an adequate mana pool in a lot of ways. I did not realize that he was level 6, so he was able to dunk me, which I was sad about. It's okay.
As it should.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was 6. I was like, hey, he's a jungle hero, whatever. Easy.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So it's really nice to have both the tree and an Abaddon on your same team, because that's basically two sources of damage. They're not both damage block. The aphotic shield works a little different. I can't remember the exact word
Radiant's
for it.
middle tower is under attack.
It's not damage block, it's something else. But there's a death coil, or oops, sorry, mist coil. Way different. Only heals for 150 right now, but does scale up to 250, and the shield will block 200 later. So basically I can do like a 400 HP swing on one of my allies, which is pretty useful. I was able to pull this, luckily. So yeah, skill build, I like maxing out Mist Coil with Aphotic Shield. Grab your ulti at 6, and Curse of Avernus after these other skills are maxed out, basically. So, I think that's the best way. In terms of item build, I just grab an early magic stick with boots, pretty standard, just so I can move around a bit faster. You don't really need arcane boots that fast, because as long as you're not spamming and wasting your abilities in inefficient ways, then you should be okay in terms of mana pool. But I believe I did make an arcane boots quite early on in this game. Actually, I seem to remember I ended up going for like a wand with ironwood branches, because things were a little rough. But I'm going to pick up a TP scroll now, just in case I need a TP support my other lanes. Ganking at this point is probably not that recommended, especially because Axe has been a bit of a hindrance. A little worried about the bot lane going bad, because I saw they were about to dive, so I'm coming here. Oh, I forgot to. I didn't realize. Oh, I did shield that. But he killed him down there to try to keep him alive. Luckily for us, we were able to. He didn't die from it, which is basically what was great. We don't really have a way to slow him because he was out of mana, so I told him to stop. So regardless, I TP'd to the lane. I ensured that the
Radiant structures are fortified.
Tree wasn't going to die, and I put a heal on him as well, just in case he got nuked a lot. But there's only 4 loosened beams, and there were a lot of creeps there, and they ate the nukes. So the shield was a bit wasted on the creep. I basically casted it so that I could do some damage to the axe, but it's probably not really worth it. It's only 140 magic damage, so I should really probably should have saved that for heroes instead. I spotted out an observer ward here. Wait, I had charge it. I was gonna see if I could do it here. He is able to kill the Pudge again. And since there's nobody mid, I might as well sit here for EXP. EXP does pay off pretty hard with this hero, so I might as well grab it. Borrowed time at 6, of course, and getting more levels in the shield and the coil are really useful. I did want to max out coil first. I think this is the better build. The scaling on Aphotic Shield is kind of crappy, and the best thing about it is probably that the cooldown goes down a lot. But the Mist Coil nuke is really useful for keeping your allies alive and things like that. So I'm just going to shield myself because that'll block a lot of Battle Hunger damage. You can see the little animation going off. But of course, Battle Hunger does a ton of damage, so it ends up hurting me quite a bit. What I probably should have done, instead of spending the mana on a Aphotic Shield, I should have just casted a Mist Coil on a creep. And it was at this point that I realized that they had Observer Wards, because there's no way that Axe at nighttime had vision of me by that tower. So I was like, okay, I have to go back to base. I know where their Observer Ward is, and I can counter it. And looking now, you can see it, but
Dire's bottom tower
if you guys go watch the other video, figured it out. So, no death there. See, look at that, I pinged right on top of it. I was like, there's a ward there. So, Chachi Sap and Simi XP on the bot lane. Not the most active game just yet, but we're really just kind of protecting all of our lanes. Aosin should have a ton of farm at this point. In fact, let's go take a look at him. He's got a drum, he's got a Tranquils, he has 68 CS at 11 minutes, which is really good, and he definitely has the most. If we compare this to what the Luna's working with, she went Tranquil. This is a waste, by the way. Don't go both Tranquils and Helm. If you want HP regen, you grab one or the other of these items. You don't need both. If you grab both, then you have this really weak attack speed stuff. This guy made a bad decision with his items. So, looks like I was rich enough to buy a TP scroll, pretty fancy. Earthshaker destroys a tower mid, and now I can afford a lot more stuff. Oh, this ward's not really fresh as well, so I'm pretty happy with this. So, one dead ward. If you guys didn't realize yet, Blitz is going for the carry Earthshaker build, which is Shadow Blade with a crit. It allows you to get a lot of damage from the enchant totem. It's pretty fun. And I knew that they probably weren't going to see us coming since I did deward that ward earlier, so just buying some really inexpensive items as we come to try to defend him. So my main goal is to keep my allies fully healed.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Why do you hate Triple kill!
Looks like my ulti ended up going off while he spun, which is why I got some heal. He's still chasing a bit.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I could have maybe healed Eos in there, but putting the nuke onto the axe helped. And I already had a shield on myself, so I didn't take any damage from the mist coil,
Radiant's top
which is
tower
nice.
is under attack.
Put a shield on
Radiant's top
Eosin in
tower
case he
has
decides to
fallen.
go for it. And I really wanted to fight this. Oh god. That was scary. I definitely would have died if that hit me. So just being a little aggressive. If he had a bit more mana, I think we could have gotten that kill. So, if you notice, my HP is below 400. I have borrowed time. This means if I take any damage at all, my borrowed time is going to go off, is the way it works. If you take damage and you're below 400 HP. So I have to be pretty careful. I'll pick up an Arcane Boots here, because mana is pretty important to being able to cast more spells. You basically need a balance of HP regen and mana to be self-sufficient as Abaddon. And this, I should probably go back to base though, because I actually don't have a way to regain my HP other than borrowed time. I could like walk into a neutral camp or something and like, see like right there, my ulti just went off and then I was like, oh shit, my ulti just went off. So I ended up using the mist coil to heal myself, which costed me some mana, but what I probably should just do is like stack a camp and then turn on borrowed time as I take right clicks, and I could probably get like 3 or 4 HP out of it, I bet.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Luckily, the cooldown is pretty low on this. It doesn't cost any mana either. It just has the duration. You can get an Aghanim Scepter to increase the duration of it. There are some ways to counter it though, and that's why this guy picked Axe actually, because if I am still under the Axe cut Culling Blade threshold, it will kill me no matter what. But the downside is that the kill threshold for Axe's Culling Blade is pretty low at level 1. It's 300, 450, and 625. So the only way he could Culling Blade me is when he hits like level 11 basically, because as soon as I go below 400 HP, I'm going to immediately start getting healed and he won't be able to kill me through that. So it's going to be a little tough for him to be able to use that, but that's basically probably why he picked that hero, I think. So it does counter me a bit. So at the moment I have 5 assists, 1 death. My 1 death was avoidable, I think. I shouldn't have died to the Axe. I should have backed away from him. I just assumed that he was like way overly aggressive and it wasn't 6. I should have checked first level, which I didn't. But I'm almost level 9, which means my shield is going to be maxed out, the cooldown's going to be very low. And my mist coil is ready to go, fully usable. So I'm just going to give more mana to Eosin and I'm going to go pick up a Ring of Regen, I believe, because I did want to build a mech this game and this will give me some slight amount of HP regen over time. It takes a really long time for Rings of Regen to pay off in your total HP regen, but I mean, if I buy it now, I maybe don't have to go back to base just yet. And my mana pool is also quite large at this point. What I should have asked is for tree armor. Actually, would have given me like 150 HP if I remember correctly. 13 regen for 7 seconds. I'm sorry, 13 regen for 15 seconds. That's more like, it's like 180 HP basically. My borrowed time just went off, unfortunately. So I basically decided to not go in. I forgot that I was below 400 HP, my ulti went off, I wasted it on a couple creeps, and then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to be able to go defend him. If I had full HP, I maybe would have been able to dive and save him, but obviously things did not work out so well. So I guess they'll just go to the bot lane and last hit for a bit. I'm trying to remember exactly how, there's like a certain type of block this is. It's not exactly like damage block. It's like TA's refraction basically. I remember seeing a video that Luminous made where it explained, like, if you take a, I think it was like if you take a TA with refraction and you cast the shield on him and he eats a finger of death, he actually gets healed for 200 HP or something. It's just pretty cool. Chachi steals the kill. Again, my ulti goes off because of the Nature's Prophet ulti, so I just threw another heal out on the creeps to get the 125.
Radiant's top tower
Really helps
is
to have
under
your
attack.
HP at max when the team fight starts.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So Chachi gets a double kill, pretty much. It's Nature's Prophet here. Okay, that's why that's where he TP'd out. I was wondering. I remembered the moment when we were playing. So I think I was building a headdress. Yeah, I built a headdress first. If you guys are wondering why I got these 2 Ironwood branches, it was for the mech anticipation. Actually, I love picking these up really early in the game, especially if I'm playing a support, because they're very inexpensive items. They cost 53 a piece, and getting them as early as possible means that I get like a free circlet for 100 gold, you know. And I've got free item spaces anyways. Don't be afraid to buy these if you guys are making mech. I love buying the extra Ironwood branches just to plan ahead, because I know that's an extra 38 HP and 26 mana that I'll have for the rest of the game, basically. It's honestly, I find them a lot more useful, and they're a lot easier to get than a Ring of Regen or a chainmail. So, looks like Aosin ends up dying on the top lane, and pick up a chainmail as well. So now I have the 5 armor. I've got the Ring of Regen. My armor's a little low, but not horrible, and I should be able to push with my allies and keep them pretty guarded at this point. My positioning in fights should be pretty safe. I don't really want to be in the front or the brunt of the attack, especially since I'm playing a hard support. If I do go up into melee range, then it better be for good reason, such as like getting more borrowed time HP or using the shield on myself to reflect some damage. But mostly I want to let other people take the brunt of the damage, and luckily since Abaddon is like a full support hero, I don't have to worry about that as much. I just want to make sure that his HP is at full, so I might as well cast it when I can.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And now I get my recipes so I can apply
Dire's structures
both the armor as well as the headdress regen. So this gives me an extra regen per second, pretty nice. And of course the buckler gives myself 7 armor and my allies 2, which is a really, really nice thing to have. And this also gives me an extra 2 stats, I guess, so. Mech is a great item. So everybody was kind of, Blitz was telling us to stay bot here, and then they went to go gank, and then I was still here, so I was a little confused. But I thought maybe the Luna was going to try to kill me. I saw that she had a Helm of the Dominator, so I was worried that she was actually stacking, but it doesn't look like the Ancient's super stacked, maybe like once or something. Now I got really worried that I was going to die. I think she could have chased me to here and just Eclipse, but I guess it went to kill me anyways, because my borrowed time would just go off. There's pretty much no way that she could kill me, actually. So I buy a TP scroll. I assumed everybody still wanted to push.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, they got pretty cleaned up.
Wet more stones.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And I was like, okay guys, let's get to Aosin. I want a death coil, by the way, because the range is farther, and then I'll shield afterwards.
Cut my losses.
The range on the aphotic shield is pretty low. They had to nerf this a couple times. The mist coil is a lot farther, so that's why I always prioritize the mist coil. I really didn't want him to die, so yeah. Now basically, what gets to happen is I pretty much just run around buffing people. I'm able to pick up the Curse of Avernus as well, so I can just attack a creep if I want 15% movement speed. I run at 425 while I use that, and it also gives a buff to the creeps. So fast. So if you want to play like the carry Abaddon build, I saw a guy go phase drum armlet, which seemed pretty good. I don't know if the phase is what I would recommend. I guess you don't really want the attack speed to be that much. I don't know, it kind of like treads
Radiant's
myself,
top
but
tower is
the reason
under
armlet's
attack.
really easy to use is because if your borrowed time activates, you can turn off your armlet and take all the damage you want, because there's no way you can die when this is on unless somebody has like Culling Blade, basically. I don't know if there's any other things that will kill you, but basically armlet's really good on Abaddon. He's a strength hero, so you might as well, if you're going to do damage, get an armlet, and you can practice armlet toggling using borrowed time and things like that. So it's pretty cool. Still don't have my mech finished, but having another heal source when you already have a heal makes it really makes it much easier to save people, because then you can swing HP more. I've said it multiple times in a couple different videos, but there aren't that many heroes in Dota that allow you. There aren't that many heroes or items or ways to be able to heal your allies. And I think the reason this is in the game is because it makes it a lot harder to burst heal somebody. So I just want to put a shield on Blitz usually. The reason for that being, of course, that he is a carry Earthshaker and he's pretty squishy, and I really don't want him to die. I'm going to put some slight nukage on the axe. Chachi's going to go into melee range. I put the shield on him right before he got shackled too, which is really unfortunate. If I would have been able to shield him after the shackle, he might have been able to dodge the hook, but he definitely threw his life away a bit there. So I'm just in a position where I'm going to try to save him. And then I decided to, like, I was hoping my, like, ulti would go off, and yeah, it's not looking good, guys. And until the Luna got hooked, that was pretty useful. God, I just got so much heal out of that.
Who uproots can often be but
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Battle Hunger put me below 400, so he was able to
I
dunk.
said good day, sir.
So I still get mech though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Let me think if I made any mistakes there.
Has fallen.
I definitely stayed too long when the Eclipse went off. For some reason I was like trying to get hit with him so that my ulti could trigger and I would get a full heal, but there was really no point. I should have just backed off after that. It did allow us to like continue the chase though. I think I did a really nice job when they all jumped on me by the medium camp where I killed the Prophet. I think I did well there. Kept shielding myself to keep myself alive. That was pretty fun. I maybe could have played the axe fight better. I don't think I should have gone into melee range, because when my shield broke and his blade mail went off, the damage that hit him reflected back to me. But it was really nice that the Purge came into melee range, because his rot healed me up insanely fast. And I'm guessing that, I wonder, it kind of seemed like that's how it worked, but I basically, once my aphotic shield, or my shield went off, when my borrowed time went off, I shielded myself afterwards, which I thought was a mistake at the time. But it looked like when Purge did damage to me with my borrowed time up, it didn't go through the shield. It only healed me. So I basically got like a 300, 400 HP heal during that. And then as soon as it ran out, then my shield started to block. So that ended up being really useful. I was able to do a lot of burst damage there. And maybe I shouldn't have miscoiled as much, because taking 125 damage when my ulti's down is a little scary. But it all worked out in the end. So, I pretty much have my core items. I don't really need a whole lot more than this. An Arcane Boots, a Mech, and a Wand is your set. I ended up picking up 2 gauntlets because I wanted to pick up an urn immediately after this, because it'll give me more healing for myself and my allies. So I healed right before he got duped. Of course, I just want to keep them all healed up. And he should be full healed now. Should have enough for my urn. So I'll fly the urn out. Got 2 levels of Curse of Avernus now. Which does 10% slow, 15% movement speed for me and my allies, and 20 attack speed, which is pretty nice. If I was going carry Abaddon, by the way, I probably still wouldn't get more than 1 level of Curse. I'd probably only get 1. The attack speed is really not that useful, but the 15% movement speed is the same at all levels. So if you guys do want to play carry Abaddon, I would probably get 1 level of this. Leave it at that.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I removed the mini stun using the shield.
Rest.
Just want to keep him fully healed here. Can't remove the battle hunger, but
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
That was more.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's top tower is
yeah, you
under
can see I
attack.
removed the stun from him. Spending a lot of mana in this fight, but largely I'm just like buffing and healing my allies. There's very very few heroes that are like this. Other examples are like Omni-Knight or Dazzle. Not very many healers, so makes for a pretty fun playstyle. But I took very little damage that fight. I wasn't able to keep Blitz alive. Oh, damn that blink. I wasn't able to keep Blitz alive. I think I could have death coiled him.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It's gonna be nature's prophet here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Double kill.
This fight is over.
I really wish that I got the urn before I died, or before we got that kill, because I would have been getting a heal.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
That tree armor, guys. I was so baited. He was so baited. Now I got urn charges, so. All this stuff.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So just like a good reason to back.
Radiant's middle tower is falling.
Monster kill.
Holy shit.
Double kill.
Radiant's
So at
middle
this point, it's really hard for us to die. I kind of hit max capacity with staying alive and pushing in team fights. When you have healing lineups like this, it doesn't really matter how good your counter push is. Unless you kill all the heroes, then the push doesn't end. You have to like kill the heroes to make stuff happen. It just takes like Tree and myself to be able to heal everybody and make everyone happy. So yeah, this is pretty much my core Abaddon build. This is the way that I like playing him personally. I think he's very, very good like this. You can play him as more of a hard carry, but the problem is that if you're the one that gets stunned, you can't cast a shield on yourself. So I think it's usually better to have him not be the focus and just have like a really, really hard to kill support, which is essentially what he is. Like you guys saw me get hooked into 3 enemy heroes, and I still was able to stay alive using borrowed time. And when my ulti did go off, they had to just kind of stand there for a couple seconds. It makes decision making a lot harder that way. So.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower
Blade Mill's
is
good,
under
guys.
attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's looking pretty good for our team, guys.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
I did end up buying a Perseverance. At this point, it doesn't really matter. I could get something like a Force Staff as well. I could do a lot of Atos. But I was building Lincolns. It doesn't matter.
Radiant's top barracks
Like, at this point, I'm gonna win.
The Dire now
Mostly just
have
having
mega
fun.
creeps.
Still worked out.
Radiant's
Yeah, bar time's so good for diving. Because you basically get 2 HP, you get 2 lives. You go low, and then you heal back up.
Radiant's middle tower.
There it
has
is, look at
fallen.
Sphere. Makes me cool.
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
Yeah, that's pretty much Abaddon. I think he's really fun. He's one of my favorite support heroes. I'm waiting for him to come into the game. This is the first time I played him, this game right here, in like a year and a half. Not even kidding. Because I've been making Dota 2 videos for like a year and a half already. So I was quite pumped when he came out. So that's it for Abaddon, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary and you learned a little bit more than the other video. If you guys want to watch this with commentary with everybody, it was a pretty fun game. We had a lot of good times playing. So go check it out if you're interested. And I think that's going to be it. I'm going to probably work on a Abaddon guide as well before I post this video. So if you guys are looking for that, something you can favorite within the game, so that you can do my build, my skill build, and my item builds, then click on the drop-down box below, and I will have that linked in there. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'll have a lot more videos coming for you guys for the rest of the week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.